Tears come from the heart and not from the brain. Learning never exhausts the mind. Poor is the pupil who does not surpass his master. Time stays long enough for anyone who will use it. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. Nothing strengthens authority so much as silence. The greatest deception men suffer is from their own opinions. He who loves practice without theory is like the sailor who boards a ship without a rudder and compass and never knows where he may be cast. Intellectual passion drives out sensuality. All our knowledge has its origins in our perceptions. It's easier to resist at the beginning than at the end. He who wishes to be rich in a day will be hanged in a year. The smallest feline is a masterpiece. He who is fixed to a star does not change his mind. Art is never finished, only abandoned. There are three classes of people: those who see when they are shown, and those who do not see. Water is the driving force of all nature. As a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so a life well spent brings happy death. I have been impressed with the urgency of doing this. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Being willing is not enough. We must do it. A beautiful body perishes, but a work of art dies not. Nature is the source of all true knowledge. She has her own logic, her own laws. She has no effect without cause, nor invention without necessity. Iron rusts from disuse. Water loses its purity from stagnation. Even so, inaction saps the vigor of the mind. I have offended God and mankind because my work didn't reach the quality it should have. Who sows virtue reaps honor. Why does the eye see a thing more clearly in dreams than the imagination when awake? While I thought that I was learning how to live, I have been learning how to die. Marriage is like putting your hand into a bag of snakes in the hope of pulling out an eel. The human foot is a masterpiece of engineering and a work of art. Where the spirit does not work with the hand, there is no art. Where there is shouting, there is no true knowledge. The natural desire of good men is knowledge. Our life is made by the death of others. In rivers, the water that you touch is the last of what has passed and the first of that which comes. So with present time. Blinding ignorance does mislead us. O wretched mortals, open your eyes. A life well spent is long. Painting is concerned with all the 10 attributes of sight, which are darkness, light, solidity and color, form and position, distance and propinquity, and motion and rest. Every action needs to be prompted by a motive. Science is the captain, and practice is the soldiers. Just as food is eaten without appetite is a tedious nourishment, so does studying without zeal damage the memory by not assimilating what it absorbs. Knowledge of the past and of the places of the earth is the ornament and food of the mind of man. Anyone who conducts an argument by appealing to authority is not using his intelligence, he is just using his memory. The function of muscle is to pull and not to push, except in the case of the genitals and the tongue. Medicine is the restoration of discordant elements. Sickness is the discord of the elements infused into the living body. The length of a man's outspread arms is equal to his height. Just as courage imperils life, fear protects it. Experience never errs. It is only your judgments that err by promising themselves effects such as are not caused by your experiments. Beyond a doubt, truth bears the same relation to falsehood as light to the darkness. You can have no dominion greater or less than that over yourself. The truth of things is the chief nutriment of superior intellects. Although nature commences with reason and ends in experience, it is necessary for us to do the opposite, that is, to commence with experience, and from this to proceed to investigate the reason. Time abides long enough for those who make use of it. The human bird shall take his first flight, filling the world with amazement, all writings with his fame, and bringing eternal glory to the nest whence he sprang. For verily, great love springs from great knowledge of the beloved object, and if you little know of it, you will be able to love it only a little or not at all. It is better to imitate ancient than modern work. Necessity is the mistress and guide of nature. Necessity is the theme and inventress of nature, her curb, and her eternal law. All knowledge that ends in words will die as quickly as it came to life, with the exception of the written word, which is its mechanical part. I have always felt it is my destiny to build a machine that would allow a man to fly. Common sense is that which judges the things given to it by other senses. Man and animals are in reality vehicles and conduits of food, tombs of animals, hostels of death, and coverings that consume, deriving life by the death of others. As every divided kingdom falls, So every mind divided between many studies confounds and saps itself. Each man is always in the middle of the surface of the earth, and under the zenith of his own hemisphere, and over the center of the earth. Men of lofty genius, when they are doing the least work, are most active. The senses are of the earth, the reason stands apart from them in contemplation. Nature never breaks her own laws. The poet ranks far below the painter in the representation of visible things, and far below the musician in that of invisible things. Weight, force, and casual impulse, together with resistance, are the four external powers in which all the visible actions of mortals have their being and their end. Our body is dependent on heaven, and heaven on the spirit. There is no object so large, but at a great distance from the eye, it does not appear smaller than a smaller object near. The spirit desires to remain with its body because, without the organic instruments of that body, it can neither act nor feel anything. Experience does not err. Only your judgments err by expecting from her what is not in her power. Just as courage is the danger of life, so is fear its safeguard. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more.